All right, earlier we looked at the 4 P's of marketing, and one of those P's was promotion. And one of the key parts of promotion is advertising. And advertising is a cool part of the business world. There's lots of creativity in this field, and lots of people love it because you see this creativity all the time. You watch the Super Bowl, you see the commercials, you open a magazine, you go to a website. Advertising's got a lot of creativity to it. Let's talk a little bit about advertising. How would you go about creating effective advertising? Well, just so you know, there's 5 important steps. Let's take a look at them over here. Once again, I'm using the amazing blackboard. All right, so there's 5 steps in advertising. First one, let's take a look at the first one, objective. Objective is, what are you trying to do with your advertising? What's your goal? For some companies, the objective is simple. We want to sell more stuff. So Coca-Cola, for example, we want to sell more Coke. So their objective is simple. We want to sell more. Other companies, it's a little more complex. Take, for example, something that's been around for a long time. Arm & Hammer Bacon Soda, for example. It's been around for 100 years. Their objective might be to remind people that they're still around. Hey, don't forget us. We're Arm & Hammer. Next time you go grocery shopping, put a box in your grocery cart. What else? So we've got sales, we've got reminding people. Oh, sometimes there might be something new about your product. We've got a new flavor, we've got a new smell, we've got a new additive. We're new and improved. So sometimes you're trying to tell people about something new that you've done, okay? The next step down is audience. Who the heck are you going to be talking to? And if I look around this room here, there's no one here. Who am I talking to? Who am I going to tell my message to? If I'm Coca-Cola, if I'm Arm & Hammer, who am I talking to? And this stage might require you to do a bit of research. You might be like, well, how old are the people who buy my product? Where do they hang out? What kind of websites do they visit? What kind of TV shows do they watch? To know more about your audience, the best way is to do a survey. And that way, if you ask different people who use your product some information about them, it'll help you in the next couple of steps of the process. For example, once you know what kind of websites or TV shows your customers are using, you know where to put your TV commercials and your web commercials, right? So, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we've got the objective. What are we trying to do? Then we've got the audience, who are we trying to talk to? Then we come up with a message. Once we have an idea of who we're talking to, we got to craft the message. So for example, if you're talking to an old fogey like me, you might craft your message in terms that I would understand. Hey, old guy, why don't you buy this product? If your audience is new, hip people, you might say, yo, we've got this fresh new product. Why don't you buy it? Okay, maybe you won't do that. Maybe that's kind of lame. Anyways, the next step down is delivering the message. Once you know what the message is, you got to deliver it to people. You got to tell people what your message is. Again, that survey, that research you did about your audience is going to come in handy at this point. For example, if you know your audience spends a lot of time on Facebook, I'm going to send my message to them by putting ads on Facebook. If I know my audience watches a lot of Big Bang Theory or American Idol, I will put commercials on those TV shows. All right, so survey, as you can see, although it's number 2 on the list, it's a very important step, okay? The last step, just as important, it's called evaluate. And this is where you have to show that you did your job, that you achieved the objective that you started out with. With sales objectives, evaluating your plan is pretty easy. If my objective was to sell $1 million worth of Coca-Cola, to evaluate it, I just find out, look at the sales numbers. Did I sell $1 million worth of Coca-Cola? Yes, then my plan was good. If I didn't sell that much, my plan didn't work at all. It can be tricky evaluation for some of the other objectives. If your goal is to remind people about your product or to tell them that something new and improved is going on with your product, evaluation is going to be a little tougher. You might have to do another survey with your audience and find out, hey, did you know that we made changes to our product? If they do know, if they do remember, then yeah, your message and your advertising plan were pretty successful. If people still don't know about the new things you've done with your product, you may have to go back to the drawing board, start all over again. All right, so here we are. 5 steps in an advertising plan. We'll be back later. Thanks.